Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Aurogiri Protips, episode 57, entitled Party Recruit. I just had to remember what I entitled it, but it is called Party Recruit. So we're discussing party recruitment in PS4, Onigiri, and PC, and all that stuff. Party Recruit. Something that Xbox doesn't have yet, but it is a fundamental... No, Xbox might have it. Xbox might have it. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but Party Recruit, anyway, that's the other story. So we have two dungeons here. We have Gordon, who's in War Bazooka, looking for logs, and we got Cluster, who's in a reserve body party. I know, Captain YOLO, I know. So, Party Recruit, not too much going on today, actually. That's kind of cool, or weird. But this episode subject is brought to me by my friend Icaros because of a problem he had last night involving moon dungeons. So... I just titled it Party Recruit because it's going to be the main focus of it. So let's say I'm carrying a person. Hey Ray Ravel. So let's say I'm carrying someone in Dew Creek, right? This is a prime example. Dew Creek Hell. And it's like, sure. It's like, hey, can you carry me? I need some mags. Yeah, sure. I need my moon dew. I'll carry you through. I don't care. Miyamoto can handle it. I'll be fine. So I'm going through Dew Creek, and then Dew Creek is notorious for its DCs. Either you blue screen because of the insane frame rate of hitting all the enemies at once, or just the portal is very glitchy and people just DC all the time there. So, you know, 7 out of 10 times someone DCs in a run of Dew Creek. It's called DC Dew Creek for a reason. And let's say, for example, I'm going to use you guys as examples, right? So let's say it's me, Captain YOLO, and Ray Ravel, and I'm carrying them through Dew Creek, right? And I'm like, oh, I need a new Batama mag, so if you guys are with me, there's going to be more enemies, and I'll pop a boost, and I'll have more grays to kill, and I'll have more chances to get my new Batama, and you guys can get the mags you need to make your sword and twin sword mags. They'll be like, yeah, sure, that's a great arrangement. Let's do that. Gee willikers, that's awesome. All right, you know, we do that. And then I go in, I'm Miyamoto, I kill the first room, I Vanguard switch, I kill the next hallway, I kill the last room, I fill up at all the little Napupu at the top, and then I'm ready to go to the next floor. It's great. We all make it through. We kill all the grays, and then I'm fighting all the grays on the top floor, and then bam! I blue screen because the game can't handle the frame rate. I'm gone. So then that leaves Captain YOLO and Ray Ravel. And if I'm carrying them, let's assume they're levels 94 and 92. They're somehow on the moon, and they're not well equipped for it. They're just trying to get their mags. So they can't really do the dungeon well. You know, one thing you can do is if you're in a party together and someone DCs or they crash or whatever, you can go to your party while in dungeon, and I'll show you right how to do that. Like, let's say we're in a party, right? We're in a party. Cool. So we're in a dungeon, and I'm like, oh, Captain YOLO and Ray Ravel have DC'd. You know, I'm going to take a second to make sure I put this in recruit, and I'm going to say... You know, I'm going to say Ray YOLO, and that's it. And then I'm going to say, like, don't join. You know, so that means Ray and YOLO know to join my party, and other people don't know to join. That's literally, like, don't join this box. And this is just for them to they can re-log in outside of Dew Creek, open up recruit, and then it'll be like, oh, Ray, YOLO, there's Oro's party, let's get back in. They go to the portal, and then the dungeon lets them back in. That's great, they're back in the dungeon. Sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes they can't get back in, but it's always better to allow that option. Always better. Because, you know, and let's say they get in, and they, you know, at that point, realistically, if this was happening, I'd be like, okay, you guys are in, just stay in the first room. I know you're not going to get any mags, but we're going to just avoid DCs by you guys just staying there. I'm going to finish the dungeon, and you guys are going to get your rewards. So either a Winter Moon Dew, or a Tax Star fused, or Crucifix fused. You know, you have a chance of getting that stuff, or the Stardust carvings for your quests or whatnot. You know, that's what you want to do. You don't want to just finish the dungeon without them. You don't want to say, oh, fuck them, whatever they DC'd. It's a different story. You know, that's not how it is. But let's say you're in a group of 4 or 5 people and one person DCs. Well, you know, if you're all on boost, sometimes we just forego it and we just go. But other times we'll just say, okay, we'll just get in the dungeon, wait for them. So So what happened to Ikaros? I'll tell you that, like, that's what I would have done in that situation. That's what you should do, especially if it's your person that's carrying crashes. You guys open up and recruit. I come back in, and then I can continue carrying the dungeon and using my boost effectively and getting those max. But in Ikaros' situation, which I want to focus on, he was carrying Benkei Factory, and someone joined. I'm going to leave them anonymous. Someone joined, and then he was fighting all the enemies and trying to get Nubatama, Neoteru, things like that, mags and blueprints and recipes, all that stuff. And then midway through the dungeon, he crashes, because it happens a lot in the moon. There's so much stuff going on, so many bullets firing, so much this and that. He just crashed. He blue screen. And then when Ikaros did, he was on the boss room, and the last Benkei had about 20% health left on it. And he blue screened, and what he normally would have wanted to do is be like, okay, wait for me to, load back in. I'm going to whisper you, and you put it in recruit. Like you should know to put it in recruit for him, so he can get back in the dungeon, and then you can clear the dungeon, and he'll get his rewards or come in and do it for you. Whatever the case may be, he's the one carrying you, especially you want him to get his rewards. But what happened was the inverse, where he DC'd, and the guy who he was carrying, there was one Benkei left. He pulled out his Blue Moon Blade, and he charged up a couple blistering, and he killed the last Benkei. And Ikaros couldn't get back in because it was already done, and, He beat the boss for him. Ikaros literally got nothing from the dungeon, wasted time on his boost because he was waiting for him to open party recruit. He didn't do it. Ikaros lost a lot of time on his boost. He got very mad. He just logged off after that, and I think he blacklisted the guy. That's what he told me. So, that's a very unprofessional way of doing that. If someone's going to carry you through and they DC, you should have the common courtesy to wait for them, throw it up in recruit, and give them the honest opportunity to be like, oh, great, I got in, kill the boss, or, oh, I can't get in, I'm going to log out, and then when you're out of the dungeon in, let's say, 5 minutes, I'm going to come back in and we can keep running. That's how you would do that. Blue Moon Blade Scrub should never be carried. Alright, Eva, that's a little racist, but I know what you mean. Classist, whatever. It's a joke. It's fine. I'm not getting mad at you. All right. So that's what happened, and this is what we're trying to prevent, because it's not. I want to say it's not courteous. It's not common courtesy. It's not respectful, and it's dumb like that. Like, what if that was the run where if Ikaros got back in, he got a blueprint or he got a Nubatama, and you jacked that from him? You don't want that to happen. So generally, that's what everyone needs to learn to do. Like, if you're running something in runs, you're doing a lot of it, and someone's bound to DC at a load screen or ETC glitch or crash, something like that, something's always bound to happen. Throw up that party in recruit, say don't join, the people in your party know who's there, you get back in, and you can hopefully get back in for those rewards at the end of the dungeon, or you can just stay with your group. Especially if you're on a boost, you don't want some other, jackhole coming in and just doing that. And furthermore, let's have another scenario. Let's have another, because this happened 2-3 days ago. So it was me, Ikaros, Suzaku, Ryujin, and Lyra. We were all farming Lucifer on hard. And we do that. If someone crashes in Lucifer, because it happens, we get we die so much that the cursor glitch happens and all that stuff. And we have a party in recruit that says reserved. It literally just said reserved. And we're trying to get, it was Ikaros who DC'd too. And I think it was Ikaros. It could be Ikaros. It could have been. I think it was Ikaros. I think it was. So Ikaros, he crashed. He couldn't get back in. And our party's in recruit just so that people can get back into Satan or Lucifer without using stones on the same run, and they can get the drops that they're boosting for when he dies. And there's only it's the same thing as a warding for him. Like, there's only like a 3-minute window to get in that dungeon. It's not long. And if you miss that window, you can't get back in. You lose that run. That's another part of the pro tip. Is literally, if a party says reserved, Like, don't fucking join it, okay? Like, that's literally it. And I have to be firm, and I have to swear with that, because that's literally how people feel. You know, and in this situation, this is how what happened. We had 5 out of 4 people. We had 4 to 5 people. Icaros DC'd. He comes back in. He tries to get in, and this 114 guy was in the party. He just joined the party. It said reserved, and he came in, and Icaros couldn't get in. And by the time the guy left, I'm not talking about you, Eva. I'm not talking about you at all. Not at all. It's. I don't want to say names. I know who it is. I know fully well who it is. And Icaros blacklisted him. So this guy joined this reserve party, and because of him, Icaros lost the time. It's fine, Eva. We were just doing Mountain of Thorns. Don't worry about it. But you know, if you're joining me, I'm not going to be upset. But if it says reserve, like, you should respect it regardless of who it is or what it is. You know. But he did that. He joined. And Icaros couldn't get back in the dungeon. His boost is running, because when someone joins a reserve, not a reserve party, but a party recruit at all, if someone joins a party recruit, and it fills up the last slot. So if you have a party just for 2 people, and someone comes in, the party's no longer in recruit, and you have to go and reset it up. So we had 4 to 5 people. This guy came in. He filled it up, so I was party lead, or I think someone was party lead, and then you can't kick the 5th slot either. If someone is in the 5th slot of a party, and you go to kick them, if I click on this slot, the kick button appears right on top of cancel, and when you click it, it literally cancels. You can't kick the 5th person. So if ever someone unwanted joins a party, usually a reserve party or whatnot, and they take the 5th slot, what we usually end up doing is the 4th person leaves, so we can kick that guy out, and the 5th and 4th person can rejoin. But when you're in a dungeon and you're using recruit, that is not an option. So this guy took the 5th slot. We promptly told him in party chat to leave. That spot is reserved, and he did not. He did not. So right after we were done that run, we left the party, we kicked him, and Icaros blacklisted him. And he had every right to do so. Every friggin' right to do so. And this was not yesterday, but it was a couple days ago on Lucifer. This happened. If you watch Lyra's streams, you'd probably see it. So, exactly. It is AIDS, Daniel. It is. That's another thing. So, you know, when a party says reserved, don't join it. And when you're running a dungeon together, especially a moon dungeon with rewards, or if someone's on a boost and they're trying to get mags and it takes time and they paid for it, give them the damn respect to try to get back into that dungeon. You know, especially if they're carrying you. If you know they're doing you that service, and then you just, you know, rob them of that. It's very, very disrespectful. It's very aggravating, and it shouldn't exist. You know, the PS4 community is as tight as it is. There's not 2,000 of us. There's not, you know, 50 anonymous people. We don't know who people are. There's like 200 or 300 of us, and we know who everyone is. You know, no one needs to be a dick to each other. Like, you know, have respect. I'm not saying it's a malicious thing. They did it on purpose. Ha ha ha, fuck you, Icaros. No, maybe they did, but I'm not assuming that, because, you know, that'd be impossible to orchestrate. But, you know, that's just how it is. So this video, you know, it's a very common message that a lot of people need to hear. At least have the decency to whisper someone in the party before you join. Exactly, you can do that. Let's see. I don't know if you can do that or not. I'm going to hit cancel. I want to see. So I'm going to go to party recruit, and I'm going to click on Cluster's party, because I know Cluster. I'm going to click on Cluster. You can't whisper them just by clicking on their party. You can't do it. You can't just click on their name. You can't do it. And his party says reserved. I'm not going to join, even though like they're like my best friends in the game. I'm not just going to join their reserve party. You know, what if someone's farming War Bazooka and they need that 4-man party, and you join and it's a 5th man, and they can't kick you because you're the 5th man and you're just causing more bullshit, and then they can't run for their mags because now they're messing with the pool. Like, no, don't do it. If it says reserved, it's reserved. Don't do it, guys. Just learn to freaking read. Literally it. 9 out of 10 blacklists are because people can't read. Like, I know another thing. Let's talk another one. Lyra, my good friend Lyra. One day he was someone had a body party. It literally said body party, and he joined it. He's like, oh well, I need a 5-man body party because I hear if you do 5-man, like on Hell Logos, there's 2 Ahrimans. So I'm gonna see if 5-man on whatever difficulty this is, hard or normal, maybe there's 2 Logos as well. And he goes in. I'm doing a voice similar to him. I shouldn't be doing that, but it's just how I think. And then he goes in, and he's fighting Logos. You know, he uses his energy to go in on whatever difficulty this was to do Logos in a body party. That means a body party is just join this party if you need bodies to go run your dungeon and increase the number of mobs so we can all help each other out. He joins it, and then right when he's getting to the boss, he notices his party leave, he stops attacking, and he gets kicked from the dungeon because this level 34 guy, his name is like Soul Leader 34 or something like that. I remember this story. He kicked him. He's the only guy on Lyra's blacklist is someone who kicked him from a body party. So if you have a body party and someone joins, you know, you don't really have the right to kick them unless they're like maliciously doing shit to you. You know what I'm saying? But even then, when I join a body party, I say, hey, can I body? And they'll be like, yeah, okay. But sometimes it's like, no, we're actually going to do something else right now, and I haven't changed the party, and be like, oh, okay, sure, I'll leave. All right, cool. You know, that'll happen. The same happens to exactly, Space Foam, exactly. So, you know, all these scenarios, you know, one with Lucifer, one with Benkei Factory, one with War Bazooka, just anything in general. When you're joining someone else's party, you know, join it, be like, hey, can I farm here? Can I go do this? Sure. And you ask them, sure, they do it. You know, and let's say you're in a body party, that you're hosting one and you're done. Don't kick everyone. Just leave if you're done with it, okay? Just slip out. Give it to the next person. And another thing, let's say the host is the one who DCs. If you're second in command, you got to know that if the host leaves, it now falls onto you as the second in command, the vice captain of that party, to go and reopen it in recruit so that the main person can come back in. Because that happens too. Let's say I have a body party, I'm farming mags, and then I leave, and then I can't get back into my own body party, my boost is running. It's just completely hellishly aggravating. So you say, I was in a 5-man body party, and they kicked me and changed it to juncture. Exactly, Eva, that's some fucking bullshit. Because, exactly right there. It's exactly what I just said. It's like, oh, well, we have our party now. We want to go do this instead. So, we're not going to say anything. We're just going to kick this no-name out of here. And exactly, you were on a fucking boost, and they kicked you. That's inhumane. That's disrespectful by all means. You know, I would blacklist the fucker, you know? Like, come on now, it's a community game. It's not a single player game where everyone's just fucking NPCs, you know. Have some common decency. So, you know, you don't want that to happen. So, as a team, we can make it a better, not a team, but as a community, you know, just spread the word, you know. Just tell, like, I don't want to say send this to all your friends so they want to listen to me rant and yell about a common problem. But, you know, just have the common courtesy to be like, hey, you know, be respectful. Don't kick people. Like, literally, don't kick people. The only times we kick people is if someone joins a reserve party and they're not supposed to. That's literally the only time you're allowed to kick someone. And if they come in, or if they come in, they're disrespectful, or you just hate the person and you haven't blacklisted them for some reason, yeah, sure. But, you know, always ask what someone's doing in your body party before you kick them. Like, hey, do you still need me? Or, hey, sorry, I gotta go. At least tell them what you're gonna do. Now, I know in some cases, like, let's say you speak Spanish, they speak French, you can't really talk, you're just bodying. That's a whole different language barrier, but most cases we speak English on the PS4 server, so, you know, just have that common courtesy to, you know, give people a little direction before you start kicking them sideways. So, yeah, so that's my pro tip 57. It's really just a rant, but it's legit. This had to be said, and you know, hopefully Icaros approves of this, and Lyra, and everyone who's ever, and Eva too, everyone who's ever been kicked or mistreated from a body party. it's just a bunch of bullshit, man. So let's try to keep that to a minimum and just, you know, keep everyone happy. So I need a friggin' tall glass of water, but I'm gonna get on out of here. Hope you guys, you know, enjoy this video. You know, maybe you don't like listening to it, but I enjoy the fact that I put it out there. I said something, and you know, we got to the bottom of it. So hopefully Party Recruit gets used a little bit better, and the words reserved start meaning something to people. So that said, I'm gonna get on out of here, and hope you all have a great day. Happy holidays, man.